How's it going, Sweater Kingdom? It is I, Sweater King, and today I'll be yapping about the Minecraft movie that came out this weekend. If you haven't seen it, there's going to be spoilers, so if you want to hear my final thoughts on the movie, spoiler free, go to this timestamp that's going to be right here. But other than that, let's get started with this review. So the Minecraft movie starts with Steve yearning for the mine as a kid, and it shows that the reason why he can't go in is because there's this old man that's refusing to let him in because no children are allowed in the mines. So Steve does, and I quote, does the worst thing of his life growing up. He sells doorknobs and still yearns for the mines and has a flashback to when he really wanted to yearn for the mines. So as an adult, he goes back to face that old man. The old man obviously is still there. And so Steve just bolts towards it and just goes around and goes into the mines to yearn, and eventually finds this blue orb, later known as the Orb of Dominance, and the Earth Crystal, which he combines. So the Earth Crystal fits the Orb of Dominance perfectly and opens up a portal. And so Steve goes into the portal to explore the world of Minecraft. Now, this is where we first see CGI Minecraft, and the world looks amazing. The sets are perfect. The CGI creatures are actually phenomenally well crafted. I love it. I think they did a fantastic job. But progressing to the plot. So Steve explores, and everyone's just going to completely ignore the fact that Steve's been missing as an adult, maybe because people did not care. Or maybe they just know that this shit happens all the time. So Steve just ends up crafting things, building houses, exploring the world of the Minecraft, right? And eventually opens up a world to the Nether, which he explains is a place void of creativity. And that's where we meet the main villain, which is this piglin person that is Mongola, I think her name is. Pretty bland character. Basically, she's just this really just evil piglin that just really hates the idea of creativity, and that's kind of the whole thing, is that's why she wants the Orb of Dominance, to get into the overworld and gather the resources for the gold that everyone creates, that everyone wants, because that's what the piglins obviously are in the end, is just greedy lust for gold people, pigs, whatever. So Steve gets captured and is put in, and so Dennis, the wolf that he tamed earlier throughout the movie, goes to the real world and hides it under his waterbed, and then boom, the movie fully starts. And when this happened, I honestly thought that what was going to happen was that the movie was going to be 90% in the real world, and then the last 10% was going to be in the Minecraft world. Kind of like how the Sponge Out of Water movie happened. Not a bad movie, it's just marketed poorly, but that was not the case. The real world section of the movie felt actually a bit slow at the parts, but introduced us to the main four characters of the real world, aside Steve. We got Henry, who is the little boy in the red. We got his sister, I completely forgot her name, boring character. We got the landlord, the other chick that's in the movie. And then we got Garrett the Garbage Man, who is Jason Momoa's character, and by far the best character in the movie. So the plot revolves around these four people, mainly about Garrett the Garbage Man and Henry. So Henry is this kid that really wants to create, but obviously kids and the assholes are going to be assholes and devoid of creativity. He likes to draw creatively, and in the first school, he has to draw a still image, but he draws a jetpack on a banana, and people are like, that jetpack's not going to work. So Henry is like, yeah, I know, it's easy. So what do these assholes do? They cut a wire on a jetpack, and what happens is that jetpack destroys a monument of a potato person of the thing, because these guys are really in love with making potato chips for some reason. So then this leads down to Henry not wanting to confront his sister because he doesn't want his sister to be fired or be mad at him, so he calls Garrett the Garbage Man, Jason Momoa's character, to play as the uncle. And earlier in the film, Jason Momoa comes across Steve's old storage unit to auction off, kind of like Storage Wars. And this is where we actually see a lot of the Minecraft YouTubers and the background characters. We got the most notable is DanTDM, and Garrett finds what he thinks to be an old Atari game, but turns out is just a bunch of junk. So he wasted a bunch of money. Garrett the Garbage Man is going into debt, and he is desperate. So he's just like, fuck it, whatever. So he comes across the Orb of Dominance, and him and Henry, Garrett and Henry, place the orbs together as Steve's warning puts against it, saying that no, don't do this, but they do it anyway. So then they go to the traveled mineshaft. Henry's sister is panicking, wondering where the fuck Henry is, and ends up figuring out that, ends up calling the landlord, the other lady in the movie, and she's like, don't worry about it, he's just playing the old mineshaft. So then they go confront Henry, and then they get sucked into the Minecraft world, and this was actually all really well paced. Although a little cringy, a little bit kind of cringy dialogue, but it works well. So then they explore the world, they get all trapped in, and then so since the Orb of Dominance is now in the overworld, and Mongola, I think, I'm just going to call it that, senses that the orb is in the thing, she's like, oh, yes! Alright, Steve, what you're going to do is, since we have you in the dungeon here, what you're going to do is you are going to get us the orb, bring it here. Alright? Or else we're going to hurt your dog. So then Steve's like, whatever, fine. So then, after the real-life characters that just got into the Minecraft world have to fend off the first night, Steve comes in and is like, says his iconic quote, I am Steve. Right? And so then the plot just revolves around Steve showing off the overworld and all that, and the creativity. And throughout the film, Garrett the Garbage Man learns to not be selfish and actually have real friends. Henry learns to be creative in the overworld and all that. And the main plot is that Garrett destroyed the Earth Crystal. So now they have to get a new one from the Woodland Mansion. So then they go there. And so that's the main part of the plot. And then, Mongola comes to the overworld, grabs the Orb of Dominance, and starts netherifying the overworld. But then we think Jason Momoa's character gets blown up on a bridge. And that's where Jason Momoa's character's first part of redemption arc hits. So then after that, what happens is that everyone's sad that Jason Momoa is, and is wondering how he died. So then now they have to fight in the overworld against the Piglin army invading the overworld. And this is actually one of my favorite scenes, because what they do is they gather a bunch of resources and all that, and go to Steve's sweet hidden shack in the main port village, and then they get everything ready. So the reason why I love this scene is that they created a bunch of iron golems, and obviously there's one iron golem that's like the leader of it that they craft without the actual game mechanics. It's crafted with the boots of swiftness instead of an actual pumpkin. And the final battle is just kind of like the endgame fight in that one, you know, that scene at the end of the endgame where Captain America tells the entire team to assemble, and it's just a full-on barrage of Thanos' troops and the Avengers and everyone in the Marvel Universe. That's what it felt like, and that was honestly one of the most epic things. So after that, it concludes, and so then they destroy the beacon that's netherifying the world, and then they come to a conclusion to where everyone has to go back to the world, and they're like, hey Steve, you should come back to the real world and show some of this creativity that you have in the world to that. And Steve's like, nah, I got things to build. So then they leave, and he says, screw it. And then they go, and then everyone lives a happy ever-ending life in the actual world. And Steve and the gang create a arcade game inspired on this adventure. No, it is not Minecraft. It is a actually different game. And this felt weird to me, to the fact that Steve spent most of his life in the overworld, and nobody's just going to question that he's been gone for so many years and just came back out of nowhere. So, that is literally a crash course of the story. It is just goofiness, a fun little adventure. There is the subplot of the, like, principal lady, like the main director of the school, where a nitwit villager goes through the portal and enters the real world. And there's like that romantic arc that's like a mini subplot. There's like 3 scenes, and literally in one of the post-credit scenes, they get married, which is insane to me. So the main plot of the movie is, it's whatever. It's you can't really make a plot with a Minecraft movie. You literally gotta like make it as you go. So the main plot of the movie, I would give a solid 6 out of 10. It's not the greatest thing in the world, but it serves a thing. Acting, on the other hand, 10 out of 10 from Jack Black. Jack Black gave it his all. Jason Momoa gave it his all. And the other actors actually did seem to be immersed in the world that they were in. It didn't feel like they were flat acting. It was genuinely felt really, really like they were trying to make it work. So, acting is a 10 out of 10. And here's the thing. I want to give a special category to theater experience, because the theater experience when this movie first dropped was something unlike anything else. Now, I know that there's been clips of people throwing around popcorn, getting really excited, and no, I didn't have that, but I did have the enthusiasm that was there. See, before the movie came, there was many trailers, and the way Jack Black announced a lot of things, flint and steel, this is a crafting table. And the chicken jockey one, oh my god, the moment when those characters came up screen, or when those moments came on screen, everyone in sync said that at the exact time that it was quoted throughout the movie. Everyone quoted it, clapped, and then went back to watching it and enjoying the rest of the movie. Now, there was also, I think, 4 musical parts. The La 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 Lava is at the very beginning. There's one where Jason Momoa and Jack Black have to distract the Vindicators when they eventually get to the Woodland Mansion. Then there's Dennis, who was going to go away with the other lady, the landlord lady. And then the final song. And the final song was amazing. Everyone was clapping along to it, enjoying it. So what really carried this movie to its success was the meme culture surrounding it and how everyone got excited. So that alone made the Minecraft movie a success and a cultural phenomenon. Would I watch it again? You would not believe it, but I actually already watched it too. I watched it on the opening night on Friday, and I watched it with my family the next Saturday following. And it's not a fantastic movie. It's a fun movie to just throw on, just if you're bored to want to watch it. And if you're a Minecraft fan, you're going to love it. The amount of references in there and all that, it's just something that just is an experience unlike other that I've personally experienced. Am I going to buy the movie? Hell yeah, I'm going to buy it. It's the fucking Minecraft movie. Who isn't going to buy it that's not a Minecraft fan? So, yeah. And if you're skipping here to the timestamp to figure out the unspoilered version of the thing, the plot, 6 out of 10. The villain is a flat 4 out of 10. The main villain is super, super boring. The acting, a 10 out of 10. The theater experience alone for the opening night. I feel sorry for anybody that has not been to the theater on the opening night of the Minecraft movie. You are not going to find anything else like this ever again. So that's a 10 out of 10. Overall, the Minecraft movie is a solid 7 out of 10 for me. I enjoyed it. It was a fun experience. So, without further ado, that's the final rating of this movie.